Margot's gonna come over when I open the can of tuna, by the way. Every time I open a can of tuna, my cat comes running. It's hilarious. Margaux, come here. Monkey. She likes it. I'm sure there's so many people that are like, I can't believe she brings her cat into the kitchen. Guess what? She's my family. Welcome to Home Movies. My name is Alison Roman. Today we're doing a quick little snacky, vibey tuna salad. The video is quick and vibey. The tuna salad is quick and delicious. As you know, I'm not a sandwich person. It's not my preferred method of eating stuff that goes in a sandwich. Tuna sandwich, I would say, is like a good exception to the rule. I do enjoy toasted rye bread, like crunchy iceberg, perfectly like seasoned lemony tuna salad in one bite. But even more than that, I like eating my tuna salad in little lettuce cups with bread on the side. I'm a bit of a deconstructor, if you will. It is something that you can have in your fridge for days on end, and like anytime you need a quick lunch or like a bite of tuna salad out of a container, which is something I do multiple times a day, then it's there for you. If you were looking for like a full meal experience, one of my favorite meals that I used to have, unfortunately they closed this year, but was at a deli called Iceberg's in the Flatiron District in Manhattan, and I would go in and I would get a little scoop of tuna salad on a bed of iceberg lettuce and a small cup of matzo ball soup, and that to me was like the ideal snack. Tuna salad, crunchy iceberg lettuce, warming matzo ball soup, perfect lunch. So I think tuna salad, when most people think of it, it's very mayonnaise-y, and like that's kind of it. Maybe there's celery, maybe there's not. I don't know, what do people traditionally put in tuna?
Mayo heavy. It's like
yeah, it's like creamy. And my tuna salad is more salad than tuna salad. No, it's more salady. It's definitely really bright and citrusy. I brought it to a friend once who told me it was her favorite food, and she was like, wow, I have never in my life had a tuna salad so lemony, and I love it. It is a personal preference. If you're like, you know what, I just gotta have more mayo, then please add more mayo. But this, this is my platonic ideal. So much room for adjustment. No capers, yes capers, more mayo, less mayo. Like, the world is truly your oyster. Or a can of tuna. So the first thing we're gonna do is we're gonna cut up our red onion. You could use shallots if you want. If you wanted to use scallion, you could do that. I think the red onion is a little sweeter than the other varieties, and I also think that it's a gorgeous color, undeniably gorgeous. So half of this red onion is going to go inside the tuna salad. I'm gonna macerate it a bit in some fresh lemon juice, salt and pepper. This is, once again, humiliating because my knife is not that sharp. You do want this to be pretty fine. And if you are not the kind of person who enjoys raw onion, or again, it's upsetting to you physically in some way, you can always go without it. There's plenty of crunch and texture in the form of celery here, but to me, it's like a more the merrier. And I, for one, really love raw onion. Like, truly love. It's gonna go in this bowl. I'm gonna zest the lemon first into here because again, this is a very lemony tuna salad. I think that the tuna salad should be about the tuna, and that's why I'm not going like full Roman and doing a finely chopped whole lemon. I don't think this is the time or the place for that, but I do think it's the time and the place for both the zest and the juice of the lemon. And also when it comes to serving size, like, one can of tuna serves one person, I think. It can serve two, but like, I'm gonna eat the whole thing. All right, so this half a lemon and this onion will get served on like the salady part, so I'll just set that aside. I'll season this with salt and pepper. I also like a lot of pepper in my tuna salad, like a lemon pepper tuna salad. And I'm just gonna let this sit while I do everything else. And everything else is just like chopping some celery and some capers. I had no idea how polarizing celery was. I happen to love celery. I sort of get very excited about celery, but I had no idea that celery was something that people were like, ew. Like, I love it because it tastes clean and vegetal and it's so crunchy. It's like, to me, not a tuna salad without it. If you hate it, you're gonna hate this tuna salad. I mean, I put it in everything. In my stuffing, in my chicken pot pie. I have like whole salads where the 80% of the dish is celery. I posted about it on the internet and I was like, celery, like top 5 favorite vegetables. And everyone was like, you're disgusting.
What?
Bottom 5?
Yeah.
I order Szechuan food from this spot near me. And they have a dish that's like smoked tofu, like firm, cold smoked tofu with sticks of celery tossed in like a chili oil, vinegar, soy sauce situation. It's so good. I could have it every day for the rest of my life. It looks like a lot of celery, but honestly, all I see is Yeah, I see happiness. Obviously, what would a tuna salad be without dill? I feel like it is a cornerstone of this dish. I can't imagine it without it. Honestly, if we're being serious here, what is the bare minimum tuna salad? It's dill and celery and mayo and tuna. Like the onion and the lemon is all nice and everything, but celery, dill, tuna, mayo, those are the 4 ingredients that you really truly need, I think, for tuna salad success. I'm going about a 1/4 cup of dill, and then I'm gonna chop it. It doesn't need to be too fine. I'll save some for the top as well for the salad part of the tuna salad. Also subjective. These measurements are like, take it with a grain of salt. Sometimes I'll throw like a little Dijon mustard in there. Caper is really gilding the lily here. It's not a necessity. I do think they bring a lot to the table in terms of flavor. You don't need that many to make a really strong impact here. I'm gonna go ahead and add our capers to these onions. And now we're gonna talk tuna. So tuna comes in jars, it comes in cans, it comes packed in spring water, it comes packed in olive oil, it comes packed in no salt water, it comes in a myriad of ways. And I think that in order to find out what is the right tuna for you, you need to buy a lot of tuna and you need to try it. You need to sort of recognize the brand that you know that you like. That, okay, I know that I like olive oil packed tuna. I know I like tuna only packed in spring water. I know that sustainability and like the sign of a, dolphin safe logo is really important to me. The more we think about where our food comes from, the more these companies are gonna start to come up being like, okay, well, like where does our tuna come from? How can we source it more sustainably? How can we make sure that those practices are trickling down? End speech. So this is the cento. It is, because it's packed in oil, very fatty, very unctuous. And this is the fishwife. It's more of like a piece of fish that's been smoked and then packed in. Also very delicious. I will also say this recipe works for things like canned smoked salmon, canned and smoked trout, whole smoked trout. I'm gonna add the tuna. I'm gonna leave the oil behind. So I'm just gonna sort of pick it out and add it here. I like to do this part first and then fold in the celery and the mayonnaise. So depending on how the tuna comes out, this brand, it happens to be like a little bit more broken down by the time it gets out of the can. Flake it up in this bowl with your stuff, and then you can add your mayonnaise, your dill, your celery, etc. Again, I am a less is more when it comes to mayonnaise. So I'm calling this like a generous tablespoon, maybe a little bit more. I'm calling this a generous 2 tablespoons. It's like kind of gross looking. It's also kind of beautiful. And it does look like, you're like, oh, that looks like there's actually a lot of mayonnaise, but there's not, there's just a lot of lemon juice. So there's like more liquid in it than usual. So much celery. This looks so good to me. I mean, it's a lot of celery for a tuna salad, but again, to me, like I want it in every bite. It's so good. It's so lemony and like pickly, and I love it. It's perfect. I'm a deli. Am I gonna bust out the toaster for this? I guess I could. I have a toaster. I use it like 10 times a year. You can use any bread you want. You could also use no bread. You can do literally, see if I care. But to me, a beautiful piece of toasted and buttered rye bread is like heaven. All right, I'm gonna get that toasting. And then our third and final trick is to make the salad part. I've been known to just like literally serve a pile of lettuce leaves next to the tuna salad and eating it like lettuce cups, but it is nice to kind of construct a more like, not stylized, but like intentional salad. And so I quarter the iceberg, the perfect lettuce, especially for this. Romaine would also work. And then I kind of tear it up into largish pieces, still maintaining like the lettuce cup energy. It's kind of like wedge salad energy, where like the like body and texture and like abundant nature of the iceberg leaf is as important as like everything else you put on it. I keep iceberg lettuce in my house just like on hand because I never know when I'm gonna want this particular salad. I'm just kidding, I want it all the time. All right, this other half of onion.
Very pretty.
Thank you. Someone's still going to town on that tuna can. Have some respect for yourself, Margaux. And then squeezing lemon over this. I'm basically just treating this iceberg as a salad, right? So iceberg lettuce, celery, onion, salt, pepper, beautiful, love it. Maybe some more dill. How many does this serve? We don't know. This is like a salad for 2. Sure, whatever. I would eat this whole thing though. This is done, very excited. I'll take the salad and kind of like, instead of like dumping it on top, I'll like nestle it in there. And then for our bread, could either brush it with a little bit more mayonnaise, just kind of a move. If you haven't salted and peppered your buttered toast, you're not living. It is one of the few things in life that you can do for almost nothing that makes like about a difference times a bajillion. Because everything tastes better in a triangle. What a cute lunch. Okay, and that's it. That's the tuna salad. To eat it is a real joy, but a personal experience. I'm a real like do-it-yourself assembly style eating person. That doesn't make any sense. A mouth DJ, that's right. So I like to assemble my own little bite, like so. So crunchy, so good. Let's make a little sandwich. If you wanted to like take a piece of lettuce and then put tuna on it. This is unhinged. You make a little sandwich, you could do that too. But I just like snacking on little pieces of toast between. Yeah, that's it. That's tuna salad. Make it a sandwich, make it a salad, make it just a tuna salad that you eat out of a container. It's great. It's lemony, it's peppery, it has so much crunch and texture, and to me is like the best version of a like fish salad in this way. What a sound. Give it to me all day. Wow. Nothing better.